Today the objective is decide whether relations represented verbally, that means in words, tabularly, that means in a table, graphically, graph, and symbolically, that would be something as, I would say, mapping or coordinate pair. Define a function. So this is something that you have done in the 8th grade math as well. If you remember, you had some questions where you just have to tell whether it was a function or not a function. So this is similar to that. This is exactly what that is, but we do it in little more detail in Algebra 1. Relations and functions. A blank is a set of order pair. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. It describes the relationship between the x values and the y values of order pairs on the coordinate plane. So order pair is x comma y. Why is it called order pair? Because x and y are written in order. If you know your ABC letters, it's A, B, C, and then X, Y, Z. So X and Y is the order. Or X and Y is in order. X comes first, then the Y. And it's always written in parentheses, separated by a comma. It is extremely easy to identify whether set of order pair is function or not a function. All we have to do is look for the x values, and we should know that x values should not repeat. So let's check our x values and see if they're repeating or not. -4, -2, 2, and 5. None of the values were repeating. This is a function. Tables are again as well. You just have to look for the x values. All of them are different. It's a function. Mapping. -4 is connected to -5. There are two ways you can actually rewrite mapping, and that should help you if you don't understand how the mapping works. -4 is this is x or the input. This is y or the output. When x is -4, y is -5. When x is -2, look at the line is going down at 3. When x is +2, it is +3. When x is 5, it is -3. So you can make a table out of a mapping and you still can see all the values are different. This is a function. If you notice, these are the same representation of the same thing. So this is also a function. The other way of writing a mapping is I can make order pairs because it is x and y. So x is -4, y is -5, and x is -2, y is 3, x is 2, y is 3, x is 5, and y is -3. In order to determine whether it's a function or not, look at the x values. And easy. Graph. So this the same pair is plotted on the graph. I am going to write the order pairs. Always write the x first. This is 2, that's 3. This is that order pair represented on the point. This is -2 and +3. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X is 5, 1, 2, 3. -3. This is behind. If you notice, I don't have the numbers over here. So what I'm doing is I'm just reading the x and y how it's supposed to be. This is x, horizontal axis, vertical is y. This is the origin, 0, 0. So if it's on the right hand side, these are the positive values of the x. If it's going back, this is the negative values of x. If it is up, this is the positive value of y, and if it is below, this is the negative value of y. So even if you don't have numbers or they're not printed nicely, you can always figure it out on your own if you know how to read this graph. This is not very difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's, hold on, 1, 2, 3, negative 4. So this is negative 4 on the x, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5 on the y. So this basically is also a function because none of the x values were repeating. The other way of doing the function is by drawing a vertical line test. I'll show you how. So vertical line test is you draw a vertical line. Now you have to remember what is a vertical line. The way we reviewed before was write a V. Vertical should be going up and down. So when the line goes up and down, this is vertical. So I'm gonna draw a line with a pencil. There's only one point. You don't have any other repeated point on the same line. 1 point, no repetition. 1 point, no repetition. It has to be perfectly vertical line. 1 point, no repetition. So x was not repeating. So this is also a function. The blank is a set of all x values of a relationship. It's called domain. Domain is the x values. We are going to learn this and memorize this in more detail later. The blank is a set of all y values. This is range. So the way we say it, there's another way of remembering. We say domain and range together like that, domain and range. So domain and range, and in your letters, x is first and then is the y. So basically domain is the x and range is the y. And we have a mnemonic device as well that I'm going to show you on the back side. That's another way of remembering domain and range. So domain is basically all the x values. So x values of, they all are same. So x values are -4, -2, 2, 5. You just write them in the curly bracket separated by comma. This is the domain. You always start from the least value, go to the greatest. So smallest to the biggest. Range will be the y values of the same information. So -5, 3, 3, -3. And range will also be written in curly brackets. These are curly brackets. You write it like that, curly, and separate by comma. You write them from least to greatest, so smallest to biggest number, and if the number repeats, you don't repeat it. So if 3 was twice over here, it was duplicated, so you just write it once, and that's it. This portion is the graph. Now, the 3 are extremely easy. The graph is the tricky ones because kids usually forget to draw the vertical line. So we perform a vertical line test to determine whether it's a function or not. Reason is the x should not repeat. So if I see the x value or the dot was repeated, that means the x was repeated. So all you have to do is draw a vertical line nicely anywhere. Doesn't matter where, you just draw anywhere. And then I'm going to show you that none of the x values were repeated because it's just once. 1, 1, it crossed once. And none of the x value is repeating. So this is a function. For the other graph as well, you draw the vertical line. This is already drawn over here. This, in this point, I don't need more lines because I already found a place where it was twice. It's this and this point. So now what is the x value over here? It is 1. This is 2. 1, 2, 3. Y is 3. Over here as well, x is 2 and y is -3. So x value of 2 was repeating on this graph. So this is not a function. So you just write not function. And if I have to give you a reason, I would say that x as 2 is repeating. Table, order pairs, points, super easy, because all you have to do is look for the x values. X should not repeat. And the other way to remember that, oh, we are looking for the x. So I write function like this. Function. Instead of that C, just put an X. It just sounds like a C, so it is function. X should not repeat. That helps you remember that, oh, I'm looking at the X, not the Y. So at this time, I don't care about this. Let me hide this. I don't care about the Y. All I'm going to do is look for the X and highlight if they were repeating. 6, -6, 8, -8. None of these numbers are repeating, because this is a +6 and that's a -6. +6 and -6 are 12 units apart on a number line. They're not same. So all these numbers are fine. None of them is repeating. This is a function. So this table is a function. On the mapping, the best way is draw a table for the map, and I can see easily x and y. This is how we draw a tiny table. 3 is connected to 3 is paired with 2, and the 3 is paired with 6. 5 is paired with 6, and 5 is paired with 8. I don't need more numbers over here, because if you notice, the values of the x are repeating. This 3 was repeating, this 5 is repeating, so x is already repeating. This is not a function. So not a function, and the reason is x equals 3 repeating. Go ahead, do this question. You need a number over here in the box. Out of these, you have 2 correct answers. Which numbers can be placed in the empty space, empty cell, so that the table of values satisfy the definition of a function? Definition of a function is x should not repeat. So x value should not repeat at all. That's the definition of a function. Select 2. So you are going to select 2 numbers that can go over here, and this table will stay as a function. So go ahead, do this question. I will come and I will check your paper. Now we need to know the domain and the range in detail. So this is a mnemonic. Mnemonic is a memorization device that helps you remember some things. So for this is Dixie Royd. That's how we say it. Dixie. It just sounds like a name of a person. Dixie Royd. They stand for something. Now what they stand for? D stands for domain. I stands for input. X stands for X coordinate, or the X value, same thing, of the order pair. And I is the independent variable. Independent variable. Independent means that does not depend on anything. So I do not depend on anyone, so I'm independent. On other case, you depends on your parent. So students or a child depend on their parent. So child is dependent. R is range. O is output. Y coordinate. And D is dependent variable. So what it is, Dixie, this is all about the X. So domain, input, X coordinate, independent values. This is all the properties of the X coordinate of that X, Y pair. Range, this is roid. This is all about the y coordinate or y values. Range, output, y coordinate, dependent variables. This is all about the y. So this thing is all about the y. We have two examples at the bottom that we have to determine whether it's a function or not a function. In a high school, each student's grade level, so grade level is X, is paired with the student's height, Y. So grade level of the student is X and height is Y. So if I am checking your height, you all are in which grade? You all belong to 8th grade. So I can have some numbers, I can have some names over here, such as A, B, C, these are your names, or Alan, Blake, C for Chloe, I don't know, any names, random names. You all, I'm measuring your height, you all are in the 8th grade. Your height could be whatever, 4 feet, 5 feet, whatever it is. But if you notice, your grades are same. So your grades or your grade level is same. So this means that X value is repeating. So this is not a function. Because you all have same grade level. Situation number 2, in high school, or let's just say in middle school, each student ID number is paired with the student grade level. So X is the ID number, and this is your grade, Y. Now I have 3 students. Again, A, let's say Alan. Alan has certain ID number. Blake had certain ID number, and Chloe has certain ID number. They all are in 8th grade, but their IDs are different. So this is a function because ID number, which is also is X, is different. So when you have verbal descriptions, you have to think about the situation, how it goes, and making it related to you helps you understand better whether it is a function or not. Go ahead, finish this question really quick.